Good day and good evening, everyone. Welcome back to our series of podcasts for health, wellness, and food. Today's episode, we are going to talk about asthma. Now, there are some foods for easy breathing that you can use if you have asthma. Stay tuned. Now, first and foremost, we would like to say if you have asthma, it doesn't take much. A fast walk, a sudden shot of cold air, or even a whiff of pollen can cause airways inside your lungs to narrow. Now, suddenly making each breath seem unbelievingly precious. Now, I know that happens with a lot of individuals that have asthma. Now, asthma can actually be controlled. A vital part of the strategy is what you eat. Now, fighting inflammation. Much of the battle against asthma is a battle against actually inflammation in your body. When pollen, pollution, or other airborne irritants enter the lungs, the immune system releases chemicals to kill the invaders. Now, unfortunately, the chemicals that are meant to defend you can actually do a lot of harm. Now, they cause the airways to become inflamed and swollen, which makes breathing difficult. At the same time, the body releases clouds of free radicals, the harmful oxygen molecules that make the inflammation even worse. Now, this is why in people with asthma, the airways tend to stay inflamed long after the attack is over. Now, we want to talk about one way to stop asthma and reduce inflammation. There's some evidence that foods high in vitamin C and other antioxidants, which block the effects of free radicals, can help actually prevent or can help the airways return to normal. Now, we know an asthma attack is an inflammatory thing, and we know it produces a lot of oxygen radicals. So antioxidants should help the problem. The three antioxidants that appears to have the most stopping power against asthma are selenium and vitamin C and E. In addition, there are a number of foods such as fish that have been shown to reduce inflammation throughout your body, including in the lungs. Now, one good thing to know is that vitamin C is naturally concentrated in the lining of your lungs. This is why it's a good idea that people with asthma to eat diets rich in antioxidant nutrients. Two large studies, the National Health and Nutritional Examination surveyed, found that people who got the most vitamin C in their diet were much less likely to have respiratory diseases, including asthma, than those who got the least. And it doesn't take a lot of vitamin C to get the benefits. Now, some research suggests that getting 200 milligrams a day, more than 3 times the daily value of 60 milligrams, which will go a long way toward keeping your lungs strong. Vitamin C is one of the easiest antioxidants to get a lot of, especially in your food. Now, a 6-ounce glass of freshly squeezed orange juice, for example, delivers 93 milligrams of vitamin C, a third more than the daily value. Other super sources include citrus fruit, Brussels sprouts, and strawberries. Now, research suggests that vitamin E can dramatically lower your risk of asthma. In a large study of 75,000 nurses, for example, Harvard University researchers found that those getting the most vitamin E in their diets were 47% less likely to have asthma than those getting the least. The advantage of vitamin E appears to target free radicals that are caused by air pollution, one of the leading causes of asthma. Now, in addition, also, vitamin E stimulates the release of chemicals in the body that help relax smooth muscles, including muscles that make up the airways in the lungs. As with vitamin C, it doesn't take a lot of vitamin E to get the benefits. In the nurses' study, for example, women in the low asthma group were getting no more than daily value of 30 international units. Since vitamin E is found mainly in cooking oils, however, it's not always easy to get the necessary amounts. Perhaps the best way to get more of this nutrient is in your diet. Now, one way to add vitamin E into your diet is to add wheat germ on the menu by adding it to other foods like muffins or meatloaf. One serving of wheat germ has 5 international units of vitamin E, nearly 17% of your daily value. You can get smaller amounts of vitamin E in almonds, like sunflower seeds, whole grain cereals, organically made, or preferably spinach and kale. Now, here's a nutty solution. Selenium is one of the trace minerals, which means that you don't need a lot of it. Research suggests, however, that a little selenium goes a long way, especially for people who have asthma. Like vitamin C and E, selenium is an antioxidant that can help protect the lungs from free radicals. What's more, the body uses selenium to make the vitamin C and E work more effectively. So now selenium helps the vitamin E and C that you take work more effectively. Now, just a key note is that we always put in some research studies so people can have evidence to see that these foods have a high chance of likely working on the body. Now, in one study of 115 people, researchers in New Zealand found that those getting the most selenium in their diets were 5 times less likely to have asthma than those getting the least. The daily value for selenium is 70 micrograms. Now, 70 micrograms, which appears to be all you need to keep the risk for asthma low. Foods like meats, chicken, and seafood are good sources of selenium selections, but they can't touch Brazilian nuts. One Brazil nut contains 120 micrograms of selenium. Now, that's 170% of your daily value. Another key note is to restore the flow. Even though antioxidants can help control and prevent asthma over the long term, they aren't much good when you need fast relief. For that, you might want to sit down to a good meal of halibut, steamed oysters, spinach, and black-eyed peas. Each of these foods is high in magnesium, keyword, a mineral that can help you start breathing again, inshallah. Magnesium relaxes smooth muscles in the airways, allowing more air to get through. In addition, it reduces the activity of cells in the body that cause inflammation. Now, actually, in hospitals, doctors often use a form of magnesium in an injection to provide fast relief from asthma attacks. In one study, English researchers exposed more than 2,600 people with asthma to an airway constricted chemical. They found that those getting the least magnesium in their diets were twice as likely to have their airways shut down as those getting the most magnesium. Now, oysters, halibut, and mackerel are good sources of magnesium. Cooked spinach is another good source of magnesium when cooked. Now, with half a cup providing 78 milligrams of magnesium, about 20% of your daily value. Now, last but not least, for this particular asthma topic, now we would like to share a little bit things on omega-3 fatty acids, which are good for your asthma. Studies show that omega-3 fatty acids found in fish can help reduce inflammation in your lungs. What's more, these oils appear to reduce the tissue damage as well that often follow asthma attacks. Salmon, mackerel, and other oily fish, which are high in omega-3s, appear to be the best choice for stopping asthma. In one large survey, Australian researchers found that in families where people ate very little oily fish, almost 16% of the children had asthma. In families where these fish were frequently on the menu, however, only 9% of the children had asthma. And in families where no fish was served, the rate of asthma in children was 23%. Now, just keep that in mind when you do shop for some fish if you have asthma or anything like that. So we still have a lot more to go over, especially specifically concerning asthma in the lungs and the respiratory system. We will talk about that in future podcasts. But today we would like to thank everyone for tuning in with us and listening to our side on asthma and foods that are good for you. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to comment below. And please share this video for your health. Thanks for watching.